We'll start questions tonight with Paul, the coach's left here, front row.
Coach, I guess same question I asked Josh. You guys are up like 29-15 the first half. What kind of changed from that point to the end of the first half?
They played better and we played worse. That's bluntly what happened. We didn't capitalize on the great start that we had, the momentum that we built. The crowd, especially the students, were into the game and couldn't draw up a better start. It was eerily similar to our last outing on the road. We got off to a great start, even a better start this game, and we couldn't sustain it. And then before half, we relinquished the lead and started playing from behind.
We'll stay front row. We'll go to Sam.
What is it about these Alabama teams that keep giving you guys struggles each game?
They give a lot of people struggles each game. If you've been paying attention to their records and their championships, they've won a lot of basketball games, and Coach Oates and the staff have done a tremendous job, and they play a style that is hard to prepare for. It's really hard. You don't see it very often with so reliant on the threes and the rim shots and the pace that they play with, the number of possessions they're trying to get. And obviously they've got really, really good players. They've got really, really good players and a system that they believe in, that they're confident in, and their kids play with great confidence. And they play really hard, too. I don't think they get enough credit for how hard they play. Everybody talks about their offense and their pace, and rightfully so, but their kids really compete as well.
We'll go second row in the back to the right.
Yeah, just sort of where did things sort of go wrong on defense there after you guys? I think they started 5 for 21 from the field and then just couldn't miss after that.
Well, I didn't. There's no way I thought that would continue. They just knowing their team and watching the film that we do, they didn't have any delusions that they would continue, not making any shots. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head like what went wrong, other than, they started making some shots, and unfortunately, I think it affects us too much. When one end doesn't go as well as we like, it seems we suffer a little bit on the other end and lose some of our pop, some of our bounce, some of our attention to detail. That's what we talked about in the locker room. I felt like that's happened recently too much, and we've got to obviously try to change it.
We'll go front row right to Jacob.
Kind of going off that, you guys had a pretty long scoring drought in the first half. I guess kind of what was Alabama doing to give you guys trouble there in the middle of the half?
I mean, they obviously were paying a lot of attention to Hubbard and Epps, and they were, putting guys on them and trying to extend their catches, and which we know that's going to be the case, for the whole year, I'd imagine. And they just gave us some issues, man. They pushed us out. We couldn't get as clean a looks as maybe we would have liked. Early, a lot of our success was on the offensive glass. I mean, we were really killing them on the glass and getting, multiple opportunities. And as the game went on, we just didn't get, nearly the offensive rebounds that really helped us get that great lead.
We'll go in the way back, third row middle.
You guys struggled guarding Farline. What were some things you did to try to slow him down?
Well, he does that to a lot of people. He's obviously a really good player. We went under some ball screens early. He didn't shoot it as well off the bounce from three as he does getting downhill, and then he made 2, in the first half. So obviously you switched it up a little bit and started going over, and then, that gets him in his sweet spot where, he gets the defender on his back and he shoves him around a little bit and gets some space, and he's got length and a great finish package, and then he certainly is unselfish with the big rolling down there. And then we actually, even tried to trap it a couple times and get it out of his hands, but he got into his rhythm. You could tell with his body language and the way he was moving around that he felt really, really good, and his line was obviously off the chart.
We'll go second row to the left to Danny P.
Coach, obviously motivation won't be a problem for the next one, but what can you do in the next few days to get these guys back going again?
Well, we start school tomorrow, so These guys, have been on break for a while. Seems like a long time, and certainly that's what every coach in America is talking about. We're all getting in the same boat, starting soon for everybody, and just trying to get off to a good start and get your academic cap on and get organized. And so they'll do nothing tomorrow basketball-wise, at least with us. Some of them will have rehab, and some of them will obviously get shots on their own, but then we'll regroup on Thursday. And like I've said many times, I mean, kids are much more resilient than the coaches, and I'm sure they'll be ready to attack and get better Thursday and get themselves ready to play on Saturday.
You mentioned how this game was pretty similar to Kentucky, and when teams are going on those big runs, and if it happens again, how do you kind of prevent that in those moments, or stop them from bleeding and getting worse and worse and worse?
Yeah, well, you want some leadership at that point. You need some guys on the court to help steady the ship a little bit. In years past, what I would tell you is, dig in on the defensive end. Try to get 2 or 3 stops in a row. And then try to maybe turn them over and get one of those plays that changes the momentum. But we're not. Our team does not turn people over. I mean, tonight, neither team turned each other over. I mean, there was very low turnover game on both sides of the ball, and that's normally what you go is try to hang your hat, on that end, or get a defense to offense, or get a couple more, offensive rebounds to break their back. But we got them early, and we just weren't able to, keep that momentum.
Anything else? Sam, one more.
You just have any update on Jaden, and was he injured or just didn't come back in the game?
Yeah, both of them sustained injuries, but I've yet to talk to our doctors or trainers.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.